Hello and welcome to another Blender Cookie tutorial. This is David Ward, and I know that I said that I was done with the Dragon series, which I guess I am, but I did notice that I had mentioned something about showing a flight animation, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Won't take too long, I don't think. So all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in here and do this. Let's hold down Shift and click on that layer there to show our armature layer. And let's go in here and let's minimize this just a little bit, and we're going to turn off this nonlinear actions. We're going to turn those off so we can edit a little easier. And we're going to go in here to our dope sheet, go over here and grab our action editor, and let's just go ahead and delete the action that's currently loaded in here, head turn. Let's go and delete that, and we'll select everything, and let's turn off the automatic keyframe insertion, and we're going to hit Alt-R to clear out all rotations and Alt-G to clear out locations, so we get our nice default pose back. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and turn the light and ground plane layer off so it's not as distracting there in the way. So now we're going to make a new action, and we're going to call this wing flaps. Okay, and first thing I want to do is kind of put Quaid here in sort of just a general relaxed pose, so we can have him like his whole body's relaxed except for the wings, and the wings are doing the work, so we don't need his hands and feet to be doing anything, unless he's carrying off a villager or something, I don't know. So what we're going to do is just kind of put them just kind of in a nice limp, relaxed pose there. And maybe kind of arc the back a little bit. Or I guess bow the back maybe. About like that. Okay, drag these back up here. And these guys as well. Now we're going to go in here and curl the toes down. Let's grab the rotate manipulator. Rotate those down. And this one a little bit more maybe. There we go. Grab all those, copy, paste to the other side. I guess I gotta copy it first. There we go. No? Not wanting to copy and paste. Odd. Copy. Paste. Maybe I gotta turn this on. Go ahead and remember to turn your automatic keyframe insertion back on once we start moving this into the pose we want. So actually location, rotation, and scale. I like to cover all three bases there. There we go. I guess you have to have keyframes set there. Okay. And the same thing up here. Oh, I think I was copying and pasting to itself, so that's why it didn't work. So, okay, let's curl the the fingers on the hand as well, or the claws, I guess. A little bit more on that one. Okay, copy and paste opposite. There we go. And now we'll just kind of rotate the shoulders a bit so we can move these hands in, kind of just clutched up underneath his chest, rather than just kind of hanging out in space. Like that. Yeah. And let's kind of do the same thing on the feet. Just bring those in. Go into rear view by hitting Control and 1 on your numpad. And the tail's kind of in the way, so we'll rotate up a little bit. And they're kind of going through each other, and we can't have that. So let's rotate it up just some. And this one, rotate down a little bit. Pardon my mumbling if that's getting on your nerves. I kind of just mumble as I'm working, as I'm sure you've noticed before. And let's go ahead and rotate the tail down to where it's just kind of hanging there in space behind them. Maybe not curled quite so much. Oops. There we go. Okay. So now he's ready to start flapping those wings. Let's go ahead and put them, I guess, kind of their pose they're in right now will probably be fine. We'll go ahead and spread them out just a little bit because they're getting ready to try to catch that air. So we'll just kind of get them ready to push down like that. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole animation of the wing flapping, and then I'll copy it over to the other side. Okay, so let's do it kind of like we did on the walk cycle, every 5 frames. So since we're starting off on frame 1, we'll jump up to frame 6 and go ahead and start animating the wing. And he's pushing down on that wind, so we're going to kind of have the wings reacting against, the air pressure. Like so. Okay. So, whoosh. Gotta have those sound effects. Whoosh. Okay, so frame 11. I'm gonna come on back. Oops. On down. And now they're starting to collapse, so we can make the journey back upwards to start the cycle over again. Okay, and on frame 16, go ahead and side view here. Go ahead and start rotating those back up. And maybe collapse a little bit more. And then let's see if we can't complete the loop now. Let's just copy everything on that first frame and go up to frame 21 and go ahead and paste it. Let's see how well that looks. Might need another step in between. So let's undo that. And, oh. Okay. Undo that to where we get that keyframe out. There we go. And let's grab that base and kind of start raising it up like so. Maybe starting to straighten out some. Yeah, that'll help. Now we'll copy that first frame. Go up to 26 and paste. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's set the total number of frames to 26 so we can just play, kind of see how it's going to look. I guess that looks okay. Kind of an abrupt spin around right there, so let's work on that a little bit on this frame here. Did that help already? Almost. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay, so now we'll do the other side. So let's copy those 3 main segments that we animate. Copy and paste opposite. Go to frame 6. Copy, paste opposite. 11. Same thing. Same thing on 16. And 21. And finally 26. Okay, so now we got our wings flapping fairly nicely there. Okay, so now we need the residual motion. Since the wings are flapping, the rest of the body can't be stock still. It's gonna have some residual impact. The movement, like for example, when you shrug your shoulders, your chest kind of flattens out a little bit and your arms go up, and I don't know. But anyways, we'll work on this. So starting off here, we got our, let's do the hands and feet. Let's move this guy down just a little bit. There we go. And let's grab all those. Okay. And then as the wings are starting to come down, we'll have the hands and feet kind of going up a little bit. And as the wings are starting to come up, they're going to kind of go down some. And then we'll copy that very first frame back at the end. Okay. Kind of see that. Okay, and let's kind of do the same thing on the tail. We'll kind of curl it out a little bit as the wings are coming down. Then as they're starting to come back up, the tail start curling back underneath some. And then we'll copy that first one. Now one thing that'll help the head itself, let's kind of rotate it back a little bit there. Oh yeah, what we need to do, the chest, it needs to kind of participate here. So in this first frame, it's got his chest pushed out and it's kind of arching, or arcing his back to get those wings up there as high as he can, and then kind of bending down as the wings are going down. What is this for? Why do I have a frame on frame 13? What is that? Ah, that was the neck. I'll go ahead and delete that. Okay, the chest movement will help the neck bob the way it needs to. Okay, so it's kind of bending down, then it's kind of start to bend back up as the wings are coming up. And then copy that very first one again. The end. There we go. Go ahead and just play the loop there. Not too bad. I think maybe the hands and feet need to move at a little bit different pace. So let's kind of just adjust them some so they're not quite on the exact same movement, which looks a little fake-ish to me. That's a little bit better. And then this guy, let's do the same thing there. We'll leave that first and last frame alone so we don't have to worry about copying it over. That's a little bit better. Okay, now to top it off, let's go ahead and give all these bones here on the head a keyframe here on the very first one, location, rotation, and scale. So that way later when we go into the NLA editor, the nonlinear action editor, we can use that head turn along with this one here. I'll show you that when we get there. But let's go ahead and select all the pieces that are moving independently, which would be the hips, and then all the 4 hands and feet. And we're gonna have the whole body react as the wings are flapping. So when they're up, we'll go ahead and leave it right there. And as the wings start to come down, the body's gonna lift up some, like so. And then as the wings start to come up, the body's gonna kind of start coming back down. So we'll copy that very first frame, paste it there. Uh-oh, Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Kind of looks like we have a stutter in there at some point. Guess the feet are coming down way too far here, because you can see the IK bones are kind of stretched out there, and we don't want that. So let's fix those. There we go. And again. That's better. Okay. Maybe they're coming up too far on that wing flap there. Let's bring them all down some. Oops. Okay. So now if we play the loop, looks a little better. I think the reason it kind of looks like it's stuttering is it's getting to frame 26, and it's playing frame 26 and frame 1. So it's basically playing the same frame twice. So if we set the end to be 25, it should get up to frame 25, and then where it would have played 26, it plays 1 and starts to loop over. So it should be a little smoother now. A little bit. Okay, so that's a basic flight animation, and let's go ahead and kill it out of the action editor there, and we'll go ahead and turn on the NLA editor up here again. Instead of the walk cycle, let's delete that, and we're going to add the action strip, and let's delete that out, and it's going to be wing flaps. And we'll select that, expand this out some so we can see what we're doing. And the repeat, we're going to just drag that out and repeat it quite a few times, just till it fills the expanse we want. Let's go ahead and set this back up to 250. And then we'll turn the Quaid back on, the nonlinear action back on, turn the eyeball back on so we can see what we're doing there. Okay, and you notice, since we still have the head turn on there it takes place. Zoom way out so I can control the timeline a little easier. But it just kind of pops in like so. We don't want that. We want it to be a nice smooth transition. So let's select that head turn and go up here to where it says auto blend in and out. Uncheck that. I'm going to run that blend in quite a ways up. This goes by frames, so 15 frames is basically a half second. 30 frames would be a full second, so I guess a half second would be fine. And then blend out the same thing. Okay, so now nice smooth transition over to looking over to the right, and then a smooth transition back to looking forward after the head turn animation is done. Okay, so he's kind of just hovering there in space, flapping those wings. You're like, oh, what's over there? I don't know, anything over there? Nope. Okay. Okay, so that's him just hovering. Now say, for example, you want him to use the same pose, the same animation, but you want him to actually travel across the sky. Well, you could do a couple of things. You could create a controller bone and attach all the independent bones like the hip and the hands and feet to it, and then move it, or you can just go into object mode of our rig here and just animate it. And so we'll say this first frame he's over here, maybe kind of rotate it down a little bit, and then by frame 90 you want him to be up here like so. And since that animation is already on the armature in pose mode, it's going to be still on there as we're moving the actual armature itself. So that looks pretty nice, huh? So let's see what that looks like here. Yeah. And turn the bone layer off so we can kind of see him just by himself. Okay, so that's kind of a basic wing flap animation, so hopefully that looks pretty nice to you. And I guess that's going to be done with this one. Thanks for watching the Dragon series. I've gotten a lot of nice comments, and I appreciate those. So hopefully this will be the icing on the cake, as it were. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.